All right, it's about 5:30, and coming up in just a little bit, the Witherspoon Insurance pregame show. But right now, we're going to check into the Cleveland County Fair right quick, and Captain Ron.
That's right, Calvin. We are at the Cleveland County Fair, hanging out here right below the water wheel. So if you're coming in the gate here across from the community college and you head down past the water wheel, we're down here on the left, or I'm down here on the left. Be sure and stop by. I'll be glad to chat with you if you'd like to talk about anything. We'll solve the world's problems. James Wiley and I already got about half of them solved, so we'll solve the rest of them if you come by. I want to remind you some of our sponsors, by the way, who's making this broadcast possible today. They include Sism & Sons Paint and Body Shop. They're on Shelby Road in Kings Mountain. Arnold's Jewelry on South Washington Street in Shelby. Sandy's Country Christmas on West Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Also Bridges Hardware, West King Street in Kings Mountain. Holly's Flowers on East Graham Street in Shelby. Steve's Gun Shop, they're on East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. West End Sales on Highway 18 North in Vale. Also Full Throttle Power Sports, 101 Indian Walk in Laurel. Honda Motorcycles out on East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Shelby Heating and Air on Eves Road, and J&D Furniture on North Lafayette Street in Shelby. Also Captain's Cap on Linwood Road in Gastonia. All those people were gracious enough to help sponsor this broadcast. I also want to remind you that today, Friday, it's regular admission here at the fair. The Midway is open now and will be open till 11. Some of the shows include Electrifying Magic with Jay Mattioli. He's outside Weathers Arena at 6 and 8 o'clock this evening. Circus Incredible, adjacent to Gate 14, will be at 6:30 and 8:30. Josh Norris, who's outside Dorton Hall, 7 and 9 tonight. Hot Diggity Dog and More, adjacent to Gate 14, 5:30, should be starting right about now. 7:30 and 9, and also Act Monsters Chainsaw Art behind Gate 4th Hall. Another one of our food sponsors we do want to mention is Apple Dumpling, the Sweet Sensations. They've got fresh apple dumplings, peach cobbler, also soft serve ice cream, pork rinds, and kettle corn. And they're down on the right as you walk down past the restaurants. And they're on the right. Looks like a log cabin. So if you're down that way, be sure and stop and see them. And we want to encourage you to visit all our food sponsors, McKinley Candy, Papa Joe's, Deanna's Concession, Roosters, and also the Apple Dumpling Place there. Be sure and visit them and tell them that we sent you there. So come by and see me. We'll be here. I guess I'm going to be here. How y'all doing? Be here till probably 7 o'clock or so. So if you get a chance, come by and see me. And we'll send it back to the studio. And it's about time for that Witherspoon Insurance pregame show.
All right, thank you, Captain Ron. We'll join you back real close to 6 o'clock here. All right, time now for the Witherspoon Insurance show coming up. In Shelby. They'll have your home mice and bed bug free. Schedule your free inspection today by calling 704-482-2847. And don't forget about their waterproofing. Keep your basement and home dry with one call. Visit them online at hhpci.com and like them on Facebook too. We keep hearing Shelby needs a good steakhouse. Well, Shelby has one. It's the best kept secret in Shelby. It's a Creekside Seafood and Steak with all of your favorite cuts, ribeyes, New York strips, sirloin, filet, and more. Only choice or higher USDA beef. Hand cut and cooked to your specifications. And don't forget about their fish plates. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, it's the Creekside Seafood and Steaks. 1025 Kaiser Street off Highway 74 East in Shelby. Open Wednesday through Saturday 8 till 8. Sunday lunch from 11 to 2:30. Like them on Facebook too. And now the Creekside Seafood and Steak has employment opportunities.
J&D Furniture in Uptown Shelby, family owned and operated for 22 years, is the place to shop. They proudly offer American-built products Special order England upholstery sofas, chairs customized with your favorite fabrics and styles. Shop for mattresses, rockers, lazy boy recliners, couches, bedroom sets, dining room sets, tables, bookcases, and more, and get delivery for a minimum charge. Shandy Furniture, 9 North Lafayette Street in Shelby, open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, Saturday 9 to 3. Call 704-487-6651.
Hey, fall has arrived at Hometown Hardware in Kings Mountain. Hometown Hardware has mums and pansies. Plus, they've got a great selection of fall vegetable plants, too. Come check them out today. And deer hunters, Hometown Hardware has something for you. They've got deer plot. Get that big one this year after a stop in at Hometown Hardware in Kings Mountain. See Howard or Kyle and leave with a smile at Hometown Hardware, 110 South Railroad Avenue in Kings Mountain, and see their page at whatsupshopper.com. Check out the new bank sunning blinds and towers at Norris Merchandise in Shelby. These bank blinds are weather and soundproof with multiple windows, and the steel towers are available. And now Norris Merchandise is the 10-point Nitro 505 series and the Mission Sub 1 Bose. Buy now and get 0% APR financing for 12 months. They also have 4S Draw and roasted rack food attractants made in the South for the South. And they have camo clothing for kids too. Norris Merchandise, 2011 South Lafayette Street, Highway 18 south of Shelby, online at norrismerchandise.com.
Get ready for fall and winter driving with a stop in at Butler's Tire and Auto Service in Kings Mountain. Right now, brand new name brand tires are at cost with installation package. Come in for all the details. They've got the best tire prices around. Come get your free quote on your new set of tires. Plus, Butler's Tire and Auto Service does all types of automotive service, from an oil change to a tune-up to an inspection. See Butler's Tire and Auto Service, 404 East King Street, right across from KFC in Kings Mountain.
Buying or selling your home or land? Then talk with Diane Ledbetter Real Estate in Shelby. Chances are you know Diane. She's been working in the local real estate market for over 37 years. Her expertise and knowledge of our area can help you get the best dollar for your home or land. Just call 704-481-7523 or visit their office at 2015 East Marion Street in Shelby, right across from the Cleveland Mall, and online at DianeLedbetterRealEstate.com.
chosen breed. You don't see too many like me, cause I am one of the reasons you do what you do when you wanna be me instead of you, cause I am still on beat, showing love to the streets. Come on, you know me, cause that's who I am.
And welcome to the Witherspoon Insurance of Shelby pregame show with Kevin, Shannon, Dennis, and joining us tonight, Brent Pascoe's also in the house. I remembered his name.
Hey,
Aren't y'all proud of me?
JP.
I remember someone's name.
Always, always. You can't forget my name, JP.
Good evening, JP. How are you, sir? He's ready to eat.
I'm a little tired.
He's already gave us the menu and stared at us, so I know it's time for us to give him the menu to write down our
Oh no,
orders.
that wasn't my request. That's Calvin's request.
Well, maybe Calvin gave us the menu and stared at us. Maybe he's hungry. Brent, I don't know. Is that your what is in front of you? Who did that? Tanner? Good job, Tanner. I'll fix that in a minute. You're just know your picture down here in the corner. I was like, what is in front of Brent's camera? If you're listening tonight on the radio, we do have the show live on YouTube. You can watch that every Saturday night. Friday night. We'll get it together at some point tonight. Happy Friday, everybody. We've got every Friday night you can watch us live here. We're in the studios 5:30 to 7 on the pregame show, brought to you by Witherspoon Insurance of Shelby. We'll be doing previews of some area games. We'll be doing picks, and then we'll be doing our top 10. We'll be talking about that, and then we'll be talking about our games where we broadcast tonight and a little bit more. Have a little fun as well. Coming up at 7:30, special event broadcast is our Red Zone Radio channel. Yeah, on the internet only, on the YouTube channel, folks. You can watch Red Zone Radio. We've got highlights, guys, of tonight of 7 games. And, folks, as the teams score, we post the scores live. And then I'll rotate and I'll show the score. So it's like watching the Red Zone channel, but it's high school football Red Zone channel here, brought to you by KTC Broadcasting and WhatsAppShopper.com and LincolnCounty.com are our sponsors on the Red Zone Radio channel. So check that out, WhatsAppShopper.com, LincolnCounty.com. LincolnCounty.com, of course, is our big sponsor for our Lincoln County Game of the Week tonight. So when we head out at 7 o'clock, we send it out to the football games, and you get to listen to all the games. We got one game on video tonight, but the games tonight that we have on the broadcast, the Lincoln County Game of the Week tonight, is West Lincoln at Newton Conover. And coming up on that game, it'll be David Potter and Scott Tudor will have that game, announcing that game. Tanner Halbert will be up that way. He'll have our video highlights of that game, so we'll have highlights of that game on the Red Zone channel. Over at Highland tonight, if you just listened to that song or our intro song, wondering what that is, it's called Friday Night Lights Win by Jawan Wilson. He's got our sideline highlights tonight over at Highland Tech. His daughter is in homecoming tonight, so it's homecoming at Highland Tech tonight. And we're going to have that game live on the radio, WCSL, 92.9 FM and 1590 AM. So any of you Highland Tech fans and Highland Tech alumni, you're on WCSL 92.9 tonight, broadcasting live. Big radio audience tonight for the Ironman and Highland Tech. Highland Tech homecoming tonight on KTC Broadcasting, folks. Brevard at Chase tonight will be on WAGY, WAGY FM 107.5 FM, 1320 AM up in Rutherford County. Big game tonight. Has first place implications in that conference. Brevard leads the way. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. Paul Foster, Jonathan Bland will have that. Highlights brought to us by Dustin Hull. He'll be up there taking care of that game, so we'll have highlights of that game as well. Also, tonight, we'll have highlights and radio coverage on WOHS 101.5 FM, the Crest Chargers. Head over to the North Gaston Wildcats. Rob Roop, Jeff Jones, and RJ Roop will have the highlights on Twitter for that. The highlights on Twitter, if you want to just look on Twitter if you're at the game instead of watching the Red Zone channel and see the highlights and scores, you can follow along at KTC Broadcasting and at WhatsApp Shopper tonight. And Shannon will be up at this game that we're about to talk about. Thomas Jefferson will be at Burns Bulldogs tonight. You can watch that game live on YouTube up at Burns with Tom Sinifani, Matt Royster, Trent Marty, and Shannon Allen will be up there. He'll have the highlights on his YouTube, his Twitter feed. What is it, Gridiron CC? Is that right? Gridiron CC. Follow Shannon tonight for highlights of that game, and you can watch it live and see the replay on YouTube, of course, as well. So there's our KTC broadcasting schedule for the games. After all the games are over, well, beginning at 10 o'clock, no matter what, folks, we'll begin the postgame show online at 10 o'clock. So the postgame show brought to you by CSI Mechanical Shelby will begin at 10 o'clock. And as the radio games and the other games end, they will join us in progress on the postgame show. We'll have all your final scores. We'll also have highlights from all the games. And then we'll talk to an announcer or one of our reporters from all 7 of those games tonight. So a big broadcast on the schedule tonight. But I want to welcome first Brent Pasco in the studios tonight. He's joining us for the pregame and some dinner and some Red Zone channel for a little while. So welcome to the show, Mr. Brent Pasco. I would just put on your cameras right now, but
it's mostly about the dinner.
I really can't. He's just here for dinner. Not the company at all, Shannon. Shannon Allen's here tonight, of course. Thanks for joining us, Shannon, as always. And Dennis Davis is here again tonight, like JP introduced as always. Calvin's in the house, and then we'll have in the post-game show, Will Boykins will be here, Steve DeGree, Dennis, and myself, and Chip may stop by as well tonight. So we'll all talk about that here in a little bit. I'll get y'all's cameras settled in just a minute. But first up, you guys got the schedules there in front of you while I work on the cameras. And let's go through that. Shannon left, Dennis middle, and Brent Pasco do the right column there across the board there, if you guys don't mind.
All right, Kings Mountain will be at South Point, Cherville at Highland Tech. West Lincoln will be at Newton Conover. Brevard travels down to Chase. Thomas Jefferson will be at Burns Crest, taking on North Gaston down at North Gaston. We got Community School of Davison will be traveling up to Winston-Salem. Pine Lake Prep will be taking on Bishop McGinnis. Corvian Community will be traveling up to Carver. Mountain Island Charter will be going to Christ the King. Cherokee will be at Andrews, and Robbinsville will be going to Murphy.
All right, and Lincolnton Wolves will be traveling over to West Caldwell to face the Warriors tonight. The Bandy's Trojans will be taking on the Maiden Blue Devils. The Vesper City Yellow Jackets will be going across the county there to East Gaston Warriors. Bunker Hill Bears will be taking on the East Burke Cavaliers. The Hendersonville Bearcats will be traveling to East Rutherford to take on the Cavaliers. The Patton Panthers. The Reedsville Rams will be at West Stokes tonight. The Rosamond Tigers are taking on the Owen Warhorses tonight. The Asheville Cougars and the A.C. Reynolds Rockets clash tonight. The Inca Jets and the McDowell Titans tonight. The Lake Norman Charter Knights will be taking on the North Stanley Comets, and the West Wilkes Blackhawks will take on the Wilkes Central Eagles.
A little county matchup there. It'll be St. Stephen's, the Indians, traveling to North Lincoln to take on the Knights. Fred T. Ford Tigers will be at East Lincoln, defending state champion Mustangs. Hunter Huskies at Forest View Jaguars. That's my game. That's going to be the closest game on my prediction. North Iredell Raiders are traveling to Hickory to take on the Red Tornadoes. That is not going to be a good result for North Iredell, in my opinion. Ashbrook will be at Stuart Kramer to take on the Storm. And I think that next game's incorrect because I don't think North Gaston is going to be at Ashbrook this week because I believe they're hosting Crest.
Maybe they'll wish they was at Ashbrook this week.
All right, we'll get an update on that one. We do have West Iredell at Statesville. Tuscola, the Mountaineers, heading to East Henderson to take on the Eagles. Pisgah travels to West Henderson. That's another good one there. High Brighton Panthers will be at Ashe County to take on the Huskies. Freedom Patriots will travel to South Caldwell, taking on the Spartans. And Franklin Panthers will be at North Henderson, taking on the Vikings tonight. And it looks like there's an updated score up there. West.
Yeah, I've got the updated one there. Sorry
All
about
right.
that, guys. We had to. I did get that one. I hadn't got you guys printed off yet. But you guys, every other thing, the games are pretty much the same on there. So you just use your paper in front if you want. If you want to look at the screen and use that, that's fine. The folks online watching on YouTube, those are the games on the board tonight. Got listed there where you can see the or hear the games tonight here on KTC. Our games, top left corner, got some 2A action there in the middle, top right, some local 3A. So those are our local teams, the top rows. And on the bottom, you have pretty much a mix of 1As, 2As, and 3As left to right across the board. and that's how you we'll have the scores posted tonight, and we'll go through all that here in just a little bit. All right, JP, well, I think we're ready for our first break, and then we're going to get organized. We'll do the top 10, and then we'll talk about the standings when we come back, and then here on the Witherspoon Insurance of Shelby pregame show on KTCBroadcasting.com.
Come to the Goblin Gourmet at this year's Cleveland County Fair. For over 10 years, the Goblin Gourmet has been part of the Cleveland County Fair. Don't forget the Goblin Gourmet for some great food at this year's Cleveland County Fair.
There's excitement brewing at Classic Ford Lincoln in Shelby. There's some exciting new models that have arrived. Come see for yourself. Be sure to take a look at the new Ford Bronco Heritage. You're gonna love it. Come see the Shelby Cobra 500 GT Mustang and the all-new Mustang Dark Horse, plus many pre-owned vehicles priced at under $10,000. Yes, excitement is the word with these great new models at Classic Ford Lincoln, 1775 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Online at classicfordofshelby.com. Jack it up with a visit to Tent Daddy's in Cherryville. Cody and Hunter at Tent Daddy's invite you to come by for lift kits, tires, and more. Tent Daddy's does all types of window tinting, custom wheels, and stereos for your car or truck. Give them a call at 704-734-8120. Or best of all, come on by. Tent Daddy's is located at 600 West Church Street in Cherryville. Open Tuesday through Saturday, 9 to 6. Tent Daddy's in Cherryville, sponsoring a live broadcast from this year's Cleveland County Fair. Bottom of the ninth, 2 outs, bases loaded, and 2 strikes. Now, that's a tough situation for any team. And not having your taxes done properly is a problem for you, too. That's when you call on Kimberly Spicer, CPA and public attorney. She has the team you can count on. She can assist you with your small business and your tax preparation. In Shelby, call 704-482-4358. And in Forest City, 828-245-8351. Kimberly Spicer, CPA and attorney. 214 North Morgan Street in Shelby and 118 East Main Street, Forest City.
West End Sales in Vail announces their Intimidator ATV summer sales event on all models. Don't get intimidated by high prices with these deals. Come in today and check out the deals, like 0% APR financing for 48 months, or get 0% financing for 60 months, or take a $500 instant rebate. Come in for all the details. The Intimidator ATV summer sales event going on now at West End Sales, Highway 18 North at the Highway 27 West intersection in Vail. Online at westendsales.com.
Haul it away with just one call to Hoard's Container and Hauling Services. Just call 704-466-6008 for a free quote. Dumpster services include new construction, spring cleaning, scrap metal, and they have long-term rentals for manufacturing plants for small businesses. Again, haul it away with just one call to Hoard's Container and Hauling Services. Again, call 704-466-6008 for your free quote. Serving Cleveland, Gaston, and the surrounding areas. Like them on Facebook, too. All right, we're going to break away from the Witherspoon Insurance pregame show. I'm not sure exactly what Dennis Davis is thinking, but we're going to go over to Cleveland County Fair and talk with Captain Ron. Take it away, Captain.
I didn't know Dennis Davis thought that anyway. But
yeah, it's interesting.
All right. I am here at the Cleveland County Fair, and we're hanging out here. I'm hanging out here for about another hour or so. So come by and see me if you get a chance, right below the water wheel. And we want to let you know about some of the sponsors that's making this broadcast possible. They include South Mountain Farms, Flat Rock Road in Lawndale, Sheila's Sheds, 2 locations, East Dixon Boulevard, Shelby, Highway 150 East in Cherryville. And she also has some displays here at the fair. Also, the Goblin Gourmet, they're here at the fair. Parker Farm Service on Bessie Drive in Kings Mountain. Keith Customs on Highway 150 East in Cherryville. Deanna's Concessions, one of our food sponsors, they're here at the Cleveland County Fair. Tent Daddy's on West Church Street in Cherryville. McKinley's Candy, got that great fudge. He's in Goforth Hall here at the fair. Also, Pet Heaven, Goforth Hall here at the fair. Clay & Associates, 825 South Washington Street in Shelby. And Angela's Seafood, best seafood here at the fair. So we talked about McKinley's Candy, Angela's Seafood, the Goblin Gourmet. And another one of our food sponsors is Papa Joe's. And they've got pizza by the slice or whole pizza, pit cooked barbecue plates, hamburgers, hot dogs, corn dogs, turkey legs, cheese nachos, tater tots, potato salad, baked beans, and peach cobbler with or without ice cream. Personally, I think you have to get the ice cream if you get the peach cobbler, but that's just me. So that's some of our food sponsors. Now tonight is a regular admission night. Friday night, Midway will be open until 11 o'clock, and some of the shows include Electrifying Magic. That's Jay Mattioli outside the Withers Arena. He'll be starting at 6 and goes until about 7, and he'll have another show at 8 o'clock. Circus Incredible, adjacent to Gate 14, will be at 6:30 and at 8:30. Josh Norris outside Dorton Hall. He'll be starting at 7 and have another show at 9. Hot Diggity Dog and More will be adjacent to Gate 14, 7:30 and 9:30. And Act Monsters Chainsaw Art, he's there all day making some great sculptures out of wood with a chainsaw. So pretty interesting if you get a chance, go by there and see him. So I want to remind you, by the way, tomorrow, $25 armband day with $5 admission, 9 a.m. to noon. So that's what's going on. Got some friends walking up right now. Got Michael and Chris coming up to talk with me. So, Calvin, I'm going to send it back to you and more of that Witherspoon Insurance pregame show, and I'll talk with you in about 30 minutes or so.
All right, sounds good. And we're going to send it right back to the studios for more of the Witherspoon Insurance pregame show.
All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome back. Football Friday night here on KTC Broadcasting. If you're on Twitter, hashtag KTC Scores, hashtag or at KTC Broadcasting, at What's Up Shopper. Big night of broadcast again. Crest at North Gaston on WOHS 101.5 FM, Cleveland County. Cherville Highland Tech on WCSL 92.9 FM, 1590 AM. West Lincoln at Newton Conover. That game will be on YouTube audio. If you want to find that game, you can go to YouTube. Just type in West Lincoln at Newton Conover. You can also, the channel it'll be on will be LincolnCounty.com. So, or you go to LincolnCounty.com, you can watch or listen to it there. Go to the sports page on LincolnCounty.com. So there's like 4 or 5 different ways. All of these games you can link up on KTCBroadcasting.com. Just click on the artwork of the game of your choice. Brevard at Chase tonight, AGY up in Rutherford County, 107.5, 13:20 a.m. And, of course, Jefferson at Burns tonight. You can watch that live on YouTube tonight. With Tom Sinofani in the game. All right, let's talk standings, and we're going to start. I tell you what, one more time. I tell you what, give me guys a minute. If y'all go through all the other games one more time. Bessemer City, the other one I didn't mention this one. Use the one on the screen if you would, Brent. At East Gaston, and then Brent, read the bottom left one if you will, and then Dennis middle and Shannon right side, and I'll deal with Zach for a second.
Just the bottom there. So Community School of Davidson at Winston-Salem Prep. Pine Lake Prep at Bishop McGinnis. Corvian Community at Carver. Swain County takes on Hayesville. Mountain Heritage at Avery County. And Robbinsville at Murphy.
Okay, we're doing the bottom.
Yeah, then we'll do the top.
Okay, I've got the West Wilkes Blackhawks at the Wilkes Central Eagles. I've got the Lake Norman Charter Knights at the North Stanley Comets. I've got the Inca Jets at the McDowell Titans, the Asheville Cougars, and the AC Reynolds Rockets. I've got the Rossman Tigers and the Owen Warhorses and the Reedsville Rams and the West Stokes Wildcats.
You said that Asheville and AC is wrong, right?
Yeah, Asheville's at TC Roberson.
At Roberson, okay. All right, West Iredell will be going to... Well, we're going to do the screen. North Franklin will be at North Henderson. Tuscola at East Henderson. Pisgah will be at West Henderson. High Brighton will be going to Ashe County. Freedom will be going to South Caldwell, and Kings Mountain will be at South Point.
All right. I think Kevin gave the all the local games. Crest at North Gaston on WOHS. Cherville and Highland Tech on WCSL. West Lincoln at Newton Conover on YouTube. Brevard at Chase over on WAGY Waggy. Thomas Jefferson at Burns tonight. That'll be YouTube video with Tom and Matt. And Bessemer City will be at East Gaston.
In the middle, we've got the Lincoln Wolves taking on the West Caldwell Warriors. The Bandy's Trojans at the Maiden Blue Devils tonight. The Bessemer City Yellow Jackets and the East Gaston Warriors. We've got the Bunker Hill Bears and the East Burke Cavaliers. We've got the Hendersonville Bearcats and the East Rutherford Cavaliers and the Patton Panthers and the RS Central Hilltoppers.
All right, St. Stephen's will be traveling to North Lincoln. Fred T. Ford will be going to East Lincoln. Hunter Huss will be going over to Forest View. North Iredale will be at Hickory. Ashbrook will be traveling over to Stuart Kramer, and West Iredale will be at Statesville.
It looks like all the games there tonight. And tell you, there's some good ones, especially conference matchups. South Point and Kings Mountain's a good one there, Shannon and Dennis. I know last week I had the Kings Mountain game, and they looked really good, as they have all year defensively. But that South Point Crest game last week was probably the game of the week for sure.
Yeah, we don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but I want to talk to you, since you've seen Kings Mountain play, exactly how good their defense is and how good their offense is. From a perspective, you've seen a lot of teams, you know a lot about them. I want to get the Pasco prediction as to how good they are.
Yeah, they're very solid offensively. They just don't. They try not to turn it over. They run it. Last week they ran for over 300 yards.
Yeah.
And they've really got a good 1-2 punch at running back, Dennis. They start you off with I'll call it the quicker back.
Yeah.
In Kendrick, and then they bring in the big guy Hill. And matter of fact, last week he came in when the defense was tired, and his first 2 carries were touchdowns. I think he went 50-something yards and 20-something yards.
They are potent.
Yeah.
They're not explosive necessarily, but they're potent.
Yep, they want to grind it out, rest their defense, and then their defense, they actually rely on them for the field position and you know and special teams.
Well, half their offense is
pretty good.
their defense.
Yeah, so they're pretty stout, but it's not just Simpson and Armstrong. Their interior line and their linebackers are really big and strong, and they're in the backfield all night long.
Well, I think that's going to bring up the question for later on. We'll not spend a lot of time tonight on it, but the question is, can the irresistible force and the immovable object clash, and who wins?
Yep, we'll see that in a couple weeks for sure. What you got up there, Kevin?
All right, so there's the standings. Shelby 3-0, Burns 2-0, East Gaston 2-0 the conference, Bessemer City 2-1, Cherville 0-2, Thomas Jefferson 0-3, Highland Tech 0-3. Overall, Shelby 4-3, Burns 4-2, East Gaston 6-0 overall on the season. Thomas Jefferson 1-6 overall. Cherville 0-6, Highland Tech 0-6, and the Southern Piedmont 1A, 2A. East Gaston and Bessemer City play tonight, so that's a good matchup there. Maybe see a good game down at East Gaston tonight. We'll have coverage of that game tonight. Over at the, let's see, I don't know if this conference don't even have a name. The one with Mountain Charter in it, how we'll call it that. Community School of Davidson is 4-0, 6-1 overall, 3-0, 5-1 overall. It's Pine Lake Prep. Bishop McGinnis 2-1, 3-3 overall. Corvion 2-2, 4-3 overall. Mountain Island Charter 1-2, 4-2 overall. Christ the King 1-2, 3-3 overall. Carver 0-3, 0-6 overall. Winston Prep 0-3, 1-5 overall. I meant to do them first, and I actually hit the wrong 1A one. Let's look back over East Gaston, Burns, Bessemer City, Shelby. Look at Shelby right now Bessemer right now, looking like maybe the best of the 1As. We'll find out when they face Cherville at the end of the year. But right now, East Gaston sitting here undefeated. Are they a threat to for the 1 seed in this conference, Brent, so far?
We'll see tonight what they do with Bessemer City. I think if that's a really tight game, then I think you got to say they're the third place team. If they come out and they put a whooping on Bessemer City, then I think they could, if things go right in those final 2 games, they could give Burns and Shelby some trouble.
Now, don't forget, last week Bessemer City only gave up quotation marks 42 to Burns. It wasn't a 60, 70 point game like some of these 1A teams get away from against Shelby and Burns. So a lot of people think maybe Bessemer may give East Gaston a run. But if East Gaston is as good as they hope they are, they should still beat them in the 42 to 7-0, 14 range. Should they not? If they want to compete with East Gaston's and Shelby's, right? Burns and Shelby's, right?
Yeah, I like East Gaston to keep Bessemer City's offense in check tonight. I think their defense has been their meal ticket this year, and I think Bessemer and Burns was like a 7-6 game into the second quarter, and then Burns kind of woke up, I guess you would call it, and pulled away late. So Bessemer City, I'm a little surprised that they're playing as well, because I thought last year they had a really good quarterback and running game, and those guys graduated. So, the guys that took over, it's a little bit surprising to me that they've played as well as they have.
My running back's leading the conference in rushing.
Well, Brent, let's just be thankful that this system that these folks are playing in is not like the middle school. We got 3 teams that tie. Let's have a coin flip to see who makes the playoff. Well, why don't you just extend the season by 1 week? Have, the 2 teams in the coin flip play each other, and then the winner play the team that got the bye. But they don't do it that way in the middle school. They don't want to stress those kids out, I guess.
That's the 2nd year in a row that's happened too.
Yeah, and guess who the losing coin toss was?
Yeah, for the 2nd year in a row.
For the second year in a row. So I want to see that
same
coin.
3 teams.
I want to see that coin, by the way. Can't we get a 3-sided coin?
So Brent, did you happen to see the play at Bessemer or where they scored on?
I didn't.
All right, Brent, you're the referee here. I tell you what, no, Brent, let's do this. Since you're an announcer, right? Let's have you do the play-by-play of this. So we're gonna put Brent on the spot here. So
And Brent, no timeout, Brent.
Brent, you're announcing this play. This is Bessemer City at Burns, and you call them the quarterback, receiver, whatever. Okay, I know you don't know the names. So Bessemer's on offense.
All right, good protection here. 2 tight ends set.
All right,
and
here
an
we go.
H-back.
I'm about to hit play in 3, 2, 1.
All right, Bessemer's getting it's a pass play. He's looking right. He's going deep down the sideline. It's caught. And the receiver who was out of bounds.
Did you say down the sideline or out of the sideline?
Let's take a look here, because the defender pulled up, noticing the receiver was out of bounds.
Points.
But
points.
they called it a
referee,
touchdown.
you dummy. He was out of bounds.
Oh, where's
I
Brent?
have not seen that, but that was pretty good.
Well, I'm gonna put Brent on the spot there.
And he can't be the first guy that touches it, even if he was forced out of bounds. So I didn't see anybody else touch this.
Was he out of bounds? Was he out of bounds? Was it like his toe was on the line?
Yeah, I mean, he was 3 yards.
That was such a good thing. That was a good call, Brent.
We had fun with it last week. Sorry about that, Brent.
And the receiver who happened to be out of bounds.
I didn't hear a whistle.
Oh, no, it wasn't.
It was a touchdown.
Wow.
Let's put a little. I tell you what. Let's see if we can. Yeah, there wasn't a whistle. I'm gonna see if we can hear any of the audio from the crowd or anything. Shannon, hit that button right there.
Peter?
Yep. Go ahead and hit that. Folks that online probably heard a little sound difference. Radio, you probably didn't hear anything different. Let's get a little sound on this. So we're in the Burns press box. I think it's just kind of quiet out there.
I'm surprised they didn't go nuts up there.
Oh well, so Brent,
that's when it was 7-6, right?
This was the play of the week
because that was their only points.
Yeah. This is how they took the lead.
Maybe he just hovered out of bounds, but never touched the ground.
Like, we know at this point he's a good 2 steps out.
Oh, he's by the checkered line, that second line.
Yeah, he's past that. So that's 3 yards off the line.
But look how close the Bessemer players are to the sideline. Did he run around them? Because they're not even moving like he's been there.
Did he come off the bench to catch that?
Do you think he went out right here, just right by them?
He's 3 yards. Or he's at that dot.
Do you think he took this angle like right here and then scooped or something? I don't know. I have no idea. I have no explanation of it.
But look at the sideline referee here. He's right on the line on the snap. So he's looking downfield.
He didn't turn his head until he saw him catch it in bounds. Like, yeah.
Okay.
This guy right here.
Yeah, right here.
So that was pretty good. Brent with Pasco with Gog. That was a great job there, Brent.
I think the guy snuck in from the sideline. I think that's it. I think he was playing a decoy over on the sideline, and then just, I forgot to run the route.
That was so awesome.
Maybe that's an illegal substitution.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna go through all the highlights here in just a few moments, folks. We've lost Dennis's cam there for a second. I'll get that straightened out.
That's probably a good thing.
Well, you see Terry's NC State / West Lincoln Rebels sticker helmet on his Dennis's screen right now. So but on the lower part. But you can see it's good up top. Anyway, we're going to go over the highlights here in just a little bit. Let's get back to the other standings. Some more 1A, 2A action. This from the 1A, 2A Mountain Foothills, where Polk County is the leader in the clubhouse right now at 3-0. They still got to play Brevard, and Brevard 2-0 in the conference. I'll pull up the standings for you folks at home. But looking at it right now, there we are. Like I said, Brevard, Polk County's 3-0. Brevard 2-0. East Rutherford with that big win over Chase. They're at 2-1 in the conference, and how about that, Shannon? I want to pull them up real quick as we talk about them. They're sitting at 3-4 on the year, and from where they've come over the past few years. Now here's something even more excited to get about, maybe if you're East Rutherford fans. So they've won 2 in a row. Well, they got a 2-5 Hendersonville team tonight. Then they got a pretty weak RS Central team tonight, and then they got what's an undefeated in the conference Polk County team. That's a 1A team, Shannon. We're looking at a East Rutherford team that could go on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-game winning streak into the playoffs, and possible 6-4
playoffs. Did
record.
you say playoffs?
And get a home game.
How about that we're looking at? Possible. We're not saying they will.
They'd win the conference.
But where they've come from,
right? Yeah. They'd win the conference.
They've already been beat by Brevard.
Oh, Brevard. Well, Brevard's got to play Chase.
Yeah. And now, if you get in a 3-way tie there, then you've got however they decide to do the tiebreakers up there. But how about from where they've come over the last few years now, Shannon, to Coach Russ and the gang's got them to possible 6-4 season, 5-game win streak, maybe a playoff berth.
Yeah, he's done a good job. Phil has, and he's got the thing that helps him. He's got good people around him. He's got good coaches with him. I know he got Carlos Ray that was at Crest.
Yeah,
can do his defense.
Here.
Yeah, and so he's got guys that have been in football, know football. They know how to motivate the kids the right way. They're just not out there screaming, running around like a chicken with their head cut off. He's got, and now they've got good players. Kids are buying into the system. And, hey, 16, 17-year-old kids, you never know what's going to happen once you get the right momentum behind them. So,
and if you were a kid, like maybe 15 or 14 that has seen what's happened at East Rutherford this year, it would motivate you to want to go out for football next year and be part of that. Whereas in the past, I don't want nothing to do with that mess.
Yeah, well, I know Phil's doing, I know Cherville does this, Shelby does this, Crest does it. They get involved with the elementary schools. They get and Burns does it. They get involved with the within the elementary schools. They show up in the mornings, open doors for them. They go. I think they do the reading thing with the kids in the schools. So that's things like that. That buys in the community will buy in. The kids will look up to them. They say, "Yeah, I can't wait to wear that ER helmet, or I can't wait to put on the helmet with them." So, I think Phil's doing a great job up there. And if he gets, people will, just again believe in what he's doing. I mean, look at this right here. Kids going crazy, scoring a touchdown. Big games like that. Like I said, you never know.
This is their win last week against Patton. So,
and a win like that, you get so many points. I mean, you score basically at will last week, and it's that builds momentum for the season, and now going into the playoffs. That's a good thing for them.
Well, Shannon, I know you are a Shelby guy, but there was a day when Shelby and East Rutherford was a major rivalry game, if you will. Steve Curtis was coaching up there at the time, and they had some really good players, a quarterback who went on to play at UNC, and they had Gary Dotson. I think he played at Western Carolina. And they had some history behind the East Rutherford, and then it just sort of fell apart.
Well, when Brent and I was in school, Coach Norman, that's where he came from. He's at East Rutherford. So, there's a lot of connection there. And even a few years back, Brent, when they played together, they were in the same conference, and East beat them in the regular season. I don't remember what year that
2005,
was.
Great. Probably the best East Rutherford team I've seen.
Yeah,
they defeated Shelby at home, and then the second week or third week of the playoffs, they had to host Shelby and went to overtime. And it came down to the fourth down, and Arsenio Parks goes in and scores on fourth down to advance, and Shelby ends up winning the state championship.
That was probably your state championship game right there.
It was, yep.
So we had East Rutherford on video last week, and and I told people and Coach Russ and I was impressed by their offense. The way they ran their offense, it's something to deal with. And now you pull up. Look at the standings here. They got the same number of points as Polk County and Brevard. Defense a little leaky there, Shannon, with giving up 282. Yeah. But Polk County 217, Brevard 218, East Rutherford 217. Now they've only given up 113, 185, and then East Rutherford sitting here at 282. So they've got the offense rolling. So we'll see how that works, and then as they get more experience, I think that defense will come around here in the next few years. Hopefully, maybe in the next few weeks they'll settle down a little bit of that. But looking at a playoff berth possibly there for East Rutherford right now. All right, let's go over to we'll do Lincoln County first. How about Lincoln in their conference? I can't remember the Southern Foothills. Oh, I done lost them. Here we go. Good grief. I had them just a second ago. There we go. All right. In Lincoln County tonight, we have West Lincoln. Not Lincoln. We have West Lincoln at Newton Conover as our game of the week. And then, so West Lincoln right now is 5-1 overall, 2-1 in the conference. Newton Conover's 2-1 in the conference, 3-3 overall. So this is a battle for second place tonight here in the Southern Foothills. 2A Bunker Hill, of course, undefeated to start the season again. Last few years, 8-0, 9-0, and good runs. They're 6-0 right now, 3-0 in the conference. They beat West Lincoln. That's West's only loss. So West sitting in second place right now behind the number 1 seed. Lincoln in 2-1 overall. So is Maiden. Lincoln 2-4 in the conference. Maiden 4-2 overall. Bandy's 1-2, 4-2. East Burke 0-3, 2-4. West Conwell 0-3, 0-6. But so again tonight to recap, we got West Lincoln 2-1 and 2-1 in the conference against Newton Conover tonight for second place. So Shannon, how you think that conference is going to shake out? Bunker Hill hold steady there, and it's a fight for second.
Yeah, I think it will be a fight for
somebody
second place.
Fourth and fifth is going to be maybe out of the playoffs, right?
Well, that's what I was going to say. You were talking about the West Lincoln Newton game. Also, Maiden and Bandy's play tonight.
Yes,
and that's going to be. I mean, those 4 teams right there. Either one of them could be. That's your second, third place team. Obviously, will come out of that group. But
real quick, Shannon, folks, what we're talking about second and third place teams. There's only 32 spots in the West, 10 conferences. So top 3 teams and then 2 wild cards basically is what we're looking at for the most part. And so you're sitting there in the 4 spot and 5 spot. That's what you're battling for. It's what Shannon's talking about right now.
Yeah, and I think those are those 4 teams right there are going to be battling for basically one of them. Well,
five
somebody's
teams.
going home.
2 of them, at least 2 or 3 is going to be left out for sure.
Yeah, somebody's going home. But it's a razor edge between those teams that make it and those that don't in this case.
Remember, Lincoln lost a 1-point game, so 2-4 is pretty deceptive. They could be sitting there at 3-3 on their schedule.
Who does Bunker Hill have left to play?
I think we'll pull it up for the folks. We'll do some live editing here on the television. Bunker Hill finishes the season East Burke tonight, 2-4 overall, and Maiden,
okay,
Newton Conover, and Bandy. So it's not. Every week is a battle. So far this season, if you want to recap where they've been, West Lincoln, they've won by 6 points. So if you compare West Lincoln, and they beat Lincoln by 8 points. So they're sitting there undefeated at 6-0, but they've won by 6 and 8, and they've got 3 out of 4 games coming up that may be just like that. So this conference isn't over for you Southern Foothills fans. No, I think that's right. Let me make sure when I go back. I might be calling you the wrong name, but I'll get it right. Catawba Valley Football Conference there. So, good luck with West Lincoln. West Lincoln hopes Bunker Hill goes undefeated, then they'll get the 2 spot as long as they keep winning.
Right. Yeah.
So, West, you got to pull for the Bears going forward. All right, over in, let's find me we got one more 2A, 3A conference, I think. That was Lincoln in. Nope. We're going over to the 3A, 4A. Western Foothills. Nope, not a 4A anymore. They took them out of there. So 3A. Statesville, Hickory, North Iredell, West Iredell, North Lincoln, East Lincoln sit the defending state champions right now, sitting officially in the 6th spot, tied with North Lincoln in 5th. They play each other to end the season. It could mean a playoff spot. And Shannon, what if I told you it could mean nothing before the season started?
Yeah. Oh, before the season started. Yeah.
It might mean nothing right now.
Right.
East
for Lincoln County people, it will be something because if you're East Lincoln, you don't want to lose to North Lincoln, and if you're North Lincoln, you'd like to knock East Lincoln, the defending champions, off.
Right. Yeah, and their rivalry talk down there because East is older than North, so it's East mamas went to East is the smack talk down there. Your mom went to East, so and all the cool kids are at North. So that's how the North talks their smack in Pumpkin Center up there.
Well, right now East Lincoln's tied for third in that conference at 4-2.
That's not how they count that.
They don't look at conference.
No, they count.
What am I? I'm looking at overall. I'm sorry, I was looking at overall.
They're in this.
Yeah, they're in
this area.
Time for
so
third.
they're sitting with 2 losses in trouble.
Yeah.
What they have going for them is they've defeated West Iredale, who's ahead of them.
Yes.
And they've already played the two teams at the top.
They're undefeated. So.
But boys, think about it.
So
North Lincoln's their last game, probably.
Yep.
Yeah.
It is their last game.
You got Statesville at the top of that conference. Well, Statesville got beat bad by some teams early on, and Hickory has played very well. At what point does Hickory assert its dominance over Statesville? Is that for the conference championship?
Let's find out what week they play for you Hickory folks. Some of you folks can hear us right now, 92.9 FM up in the Hickory way. Hickory has a North Iredale at 3-3, West Iredale, who just shows you 5-1 overall. Ford, who hasn't won a game in 5, 6, 7, 8 years.
Season finale.
And Statesville and Hickory in the season
at
against
Statesville.
each other, guys. At Statesville.
That final night, we're going to be busy.
Probably a little bit. Might have a few phone
They
calls.
play at West Iredale and then end at Statesville. That'll be a tough schedule.
So Statesville again, 3-0 overall, 4-2. Hickory 6-0 overall, 3-0 in the conference. So both teams trying to stay undefeated to face each other there at the end of the year. North Iredale 2-1, West Iredale 2-1. West is 5-1 overall, North 3-3 overall. North Lincoln and East Lincoln are 1-2, East at 4-2, North at 3-3 overall, and Ford and Stevens are 0-3, 0-6.
What is Statesville overall, though, Kevin?
4-2.
4-2.
Yes, sir.
But Hickory is 6-0.
Yes, sir. We're going to talk about them in just a few moments. Kings Mountain and Crest are 3-0 in their conference. 6-0 overall are both teams. Hunter Huss and Ashbrook are 2-1 in the Big South. Huss 3-3 overall. Ashbrook 2-4 overall. North Gaston and South Point. So Shannon coming into the season, I said, bet me $10. I got South Point and East Lincoln in 6th place. Will you take that bet?
No. Especially with Ashbrook above them, no.
South Point and East Lincoln both in 6th place right now, according to the Max Prep standings there.
Well, this could get interesting because, as you know tonight, Kings Mountain is playing at South Point. Okay, scenario, whatever. South Point beats Kings Mountain because Kings Mountain's already down 14 points before they get off the bus. I talked to a big Kings Mountain supporter at the fair the other night, and that's what he said. We're down 14 when we pull up. So what happens if South Point beats Kings Mountain and then Kings Mountain beats Crest? We start getting into that. Now, who have you beat power rankings?
South Point's lost 2 conference games.
Yeah.
So they won't be in number 1.
No, they won't be. But they could easily be in a tie for that 2nd place.
Who beat Huss?
In Kings Mountain? Did Kings Mountain beat them?
I can't remember, so I was asking to see if either one of y'all remembered. It wasn't Stuart Kramer.
One South Point.
It was the Mountaineers 41-0. So Huss, when we're looking at that, so Kings Mountain has beat Huss. So Huss's only loss is to Kings Mountain. They will play Crest coming up, and then Ashbrook at 2-1, 2-4 overall. North Gaston 1-2. South Point sitting there in 6th place right now, guys, and it's not looking good for them with 2 losses. And both of them being teams there ahead of them, Kings Mountain and Huss. So right at the start, they're looking at 3rd, so that they've got to knock off. They have to knock off Kings Mountain because they've already lost to Crest and Huss, right?
Yes.
Yep.
So they have to win tonight, or they're pretty much out of the playoffs.
And hope that Crest beats Kings Mountain, so they'd be in a tie for 2nd.
If South Point loses, they're going to need help. Tremendous amount of help.
Well, that puts them in the 4th spot. That's what I'm saying. There's only like three spots left in the playoffs. Hey, I don't know.
Yeah, that Huss loss was big.
That's huge.
Maybe looking ahead.
How about
to,
Huss is
Crest.
2-1 in the conference? They've
So is Ashbrook.
But wait, what was I say? They've give up more points than they scored, both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, imagine that.
Both of them 2-1, and they've give up more points than they've scored in the conference. That's your the Big South stat of the night there. You know whose fault that is, don't you, Dennis?
Yeah.
Crest. Aren't they the ones putting all and put points on everybody?
Let's suppose that Kings Mountain is victorious tonight, and I have reason to believe that they could be, even though they're playing at South Point. And we go into that last game of the year where Kings Mountain is at Crest, or Crest is at Kings Mountain, and Kings Mountain wins. Then Kings Mountain is in the driver's seat, as the first place team should be. But if Crest should win, they're in the driver's seat. And then after that, it starts to get real tricky about, is it who finishes second? Is it Crest if they lost to Kings Mountain, or is it Kings Mountain if they lost to Crest? And wait a minute, South Point's already lost 2 games. And they're not playing anybody except tonight. They're playing Kings Mountain. So if Kings Mountain beats them tonight, they're deader than a doornail. And they don't like that in Belmont. But should they win tonight, they still have some hope.
Yeah,
that's how they'll have to play. They'll have to play like they have to win this game.
And they do.
Yeah. They got to win every game out now, I think, just to have a shot.
All right,
At least
guys.
to put themselves in position to
It is,
make the playoffs.
excuse me, power poll time. Power poll time.
Okay.
All right. Power poll, the way it works, KTC Broadcasting Power Poll. You get points by victory weighted points. So 1A team, you get 1 point. 2A team, you get 2 points. 3A team, you get 3. And 4A team, you get 4. If you lose to a 4A team, you lose 0 points. If you lose to a 3A team, you lose 1 point. If you lose to a 2A team, you lose 2. If you lose to a 1A team, you lose 3. So we have 40 teams. We do Gaston, Cleveland, Lincoln, and Rutherford County. And we do 40 teams in the area, that teams are in their conferences. So we'll have a wide variety of teams. So we're going to start at 40 at Highland Tech at -18. Thomas Jefferson and Cherville are at 39 and number 38. Cherville wins the tiebreaker, giving up less points on defense. Patton's got -11 points at 37. West Caldwell -10 at 36. St. Stephen's and Ford both have -9. Ford's given up less points. Remember, both of those teams in their conference, 0-6 each. Ford's give up 251, and St. Stephen's give up 253. So they're right with Ford. Ford fans, the good news is when y'all play each other, it may be the end of the streak. So get ready for that St. Stephen's game. Get healthy out there. Kramer, -7 points right now at 33. -5, Hendersonville and RS Central. Hendersonville wins the tiebreaker with a better defense at -205 to RS Central's 257. The best Chili Yellow Jackets sitting at number 30 at -2. -1 at number 29, Forest View, and that's total points. So those teams are in the negative points on the season. Breaking even right now at 0, we got 3 teams, East Rutherford, Ashbrook, and East Burke. East Burke's had the best defense at -164, Ashbrook 213, and East Rutherford's give up 282 points in the 6 games. Now, the top 25, and I'm going to let Shannon start the top 25. He's been here before, and then we'll let Dennis and then Brent do those 3 rows right there.
All right, at number 25 is Lincolnton with 1 power point at 2-4. They've given up 186 points. All right, at 24 is Newton Conover, 2 power points. They're 3-3 standings. They've given up 210 points. Also at 2 power points, they come in at number 23. North Gaston, also 3-3, but they've given up 125 points. Number 2 is Mountain Island Charter, also again with 2 power points. The record is 4-2. They have given up 84 points on the year. And at number 21 with 3 power points, South Point, they're 3-3, and they have given up 161 points.
All right, we've got Polk County High School with 3 power points. They're 4-3, and they've given up 185 points. North Lincoln is number 19. They have 4 power points. Their record is 3-3, and they've given up 137 points. The Shelby Lions are at number 18. They have 4 power points. Their record is 4-3, and they've given up 144 points so far. At number 17, the Chase Trojans. They have 4 power points. Their record is 4-2, and they have given up 162 points. At number 16, we have the Hunter Huskies. They have 5 power points. Their record is 3-3, and they've given up 156 points. Brent?
All right, now we're in our top 15. At 15 is North Iredell with 5 power points, 3-3 record, giving up 149 points. At 14, Community School of Davidson with 6 power points, and they're at 6-1 and only giving up 89 defensive points. 13 is the Burns Bulldogs, 7 power points. They are 4-2, only giving up 86 points on the season. Bandies with 8 power points comes in at number 12. They're 4-2, and they have given up 143 points. And the team they play tonight is at number 11, the Maiden Blue Devils, who have 8 power points, also at 4-2. They've only given up 134 points. So we'll see one of those teams drop back behind the other one a little bit further this week. Top 10 coming up.
All right, guys. Sorry, I'm talking to some broadcasters out there in the area. We've got a bunch of games going on tonight. Top 10, as the Maiden is just outside of it. The other Blue Devils in our area are number 10. How about the Brevard Blue Devils with 8 power points on the season, 4-2 overall. They're tied with Statesville, who's 4-2 overall, but Statesville's defense slightly better right now. They've given up 85 to Brevard's 113, so Statesville gets the 9 seed. East Lincoln at number 8 right now with 9 total power points, 4-2 overall. West Iredale is number 7 with 10 power points, 5-1 overall. West Lincoln with 11 power points is 5-1 overall. Excuse me, at number 6. East Gaston, 12 power points. Now our undefeateds, Dennis. Without doing anything, it all worked out, and our top 5 are undefeated right now. Well, East Gaston with 12 power points. Go ahead, Dennis.
As we say at the beginning of the year, just hold your breath, give it a little time.
Yeah, they still got Burns and Shelby to play.
It'll all work out.
Bunker Hill is number 4 at 6-0 right now. They've only given up 80 points on the season, 13 total power points. The top 3 didn't change from last week. They stay in the same 1, 2, 3. Hickory, Kings Mountain, and Crest. The Red Tornadoes got 1 more power point than the other 2. And then Kings Mountain wins the tiebreaker with Crest based on defense. They've given up 51 in 6 games. Crest a little leaky, give up 174 in 6 games.
But 6-0? Isn't that what counts?
That's 6-0? The only thing that matters.
All I got to say about Crest is if you scroll up a little bit, South Point's given up how many points this year?
160 or 150.
And 61 of those.
61 of them in one game. Shelby gave up a lot to Crest. So did Burns. So, Burns is giving up 86 points. I think 49 of them were to Crest. So, there you go.
But they had better defense. That's why they held them down. Well, the question I've got for you two guys, and you too, Kevin, is looking at the top 3. The Hickory Tornadoes have been a little bit of a surprise, I think, to everybody this year. We're talking, playoffs. Kings Mountain and Crest are in the playoffs, and Hickory has to play one of them. Can Hickory beat either Kings Mountain or Crest?
I've never seen Hickory play. They're on the turf, though. Got a nice field up there. They go undefeated. We'll see. Now, the defense, I always look at the defenses, and in the past, the teams that give up about 115 is about the max for state champions. Dennis, I haven't seen anybody give up 174, and at some point you're going to get to 200, I would assume, at this point.
Sure.
So,
but how many points have they scored?
Your strategy is a lot different than the other ones. But what I'm saying is that when you look at Hickory, they're giving up 114. So the defense may not be there. They may be playing a little more offense than defense right now as well. And they still got some tough games in that conference to finish
Hickory
up.
plays Kings Mountain or Crest, their chances go up in that tornado funnel.
Okay,
Yeah.
well put.
Yeah.
Shannon?
Yeah, I don't think. See, I hadn't seen Kings Mountain play. Well, they were Hickory. Crest's offense is just. I mean, there's only one other offense I've seen as dynamic as that, and that was the Shelby offense, Brent, when they had. I think Dark Wells was the quarterback, and they had Jaden Borders and Antoine Wright at receivers, and maybe Day was the running back or something like that. They could score at will. Crest is that way too, but the difference is Shelby's defense that year was probably just as good as that offense.
All right, guys, we got to take a break.
Anyway,
We got to come
but
back.
I think they could beat Hickory,
and
both
we'll
of
do
them.
the predictions of our local teams tonight. We'll join us tonight. We'll go over the broadcast and everything else that you've been listening to the Witherspoon Insurance of Shelby pregame show on KTCBroadcasting.com.
Since 1986, Witherspoon Insurance Agency in Shelby has been serving families across Shelby and Cleveland County. And today, Wayne Witherspoon continues the tradition of bringing you the best insurance at the best possible price. With names like The Hartford, Safeco, Progressive, National General, and Travelers. Drop by the office today at 125 North Lafayette Street in Shelby and talk with one of their friendly hometown agents. Witherspoon Insurance Agency, your independent insurance agency since 1986.
There's a lot to know about Kevin Gordon, candidate for Cleveland County Commissioner. Now, we can talk about all of his accomplishments, but not in this ad. We want to introduce you to Kevin Gordon. He's married to Sherry Gordon, and they have 2 sons, Alex and wife Macy, and Zachary and wife Anne Marie. Also 4 very special grandkids, and his Labrador named Ranger. Everything starts with family, and Kevin is proud to be a part of our Cleveland County family. On March 5th, 2024, vote for Kevin Gordon, Cleveland County Commissioner. This announcement was paid for by the committee to elect Kevin Gordon, Cleveland County Commissioner. When you come to this year's Cleveland County Fair, be sure to drop by and see the display of Leonard Buildings and truck accessories. Check out their storage sheds and buildings. Also, cargo and utility trailers and all kinds of vehicle accessories. Ask about the Rhino Steps, and be sure to check out the line of Eagle Carports and Lear Truck Cabs. Leonard Buildings and Truck Accessories, 1884 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Online at leonardusa.com, and see them this year at the Cleveland County Fair. In and out of the park with a gift from Arnold's Jewelry and Gift Gallery in Shelby. Choose from the large selection of Citizen Echo Drive watches. Always popular and never needs a battery. Having a wedding anniversary soon? Choose an anniversary band in yellow or white gold, or browse their gift gallery. They have something great for everyone, and gift wrapping is free. Arnold's Jewelry and Gift Gallery, 228 South Washington Street in Shelby, celebrating 50 years in business. Open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5:30, Saturdays, 9 till 3. Is your car's windshield cracking you up? If so, you need to see the windshield doctor. That's Carolina Auto Glass at 408 South Post Road in Shelby. Carolina Auto Glass can handle all of your insurance claims. Shop local, deal with Carolina Auto Glass. They do free estimates on site. Just call 704-480-1885 for Carolina Auto Glass. Located at 408 South Post Road in Shelby. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, where you get safety and satisfaction. Online at carolinaAutoglass.net and see their page at whatsupshopper.com. Twins Granite LLC, located at 550 West Main Street in Forest City, is introducing a new Twins Granite showroom in Shelby and the surrounding areas. They're happy to be expanding their small family business and look forward to providing their services to the Shelby area. For over 10 years, they have specialized in the installation and fabrication of granite, quartz, marble, and more. Come by and visit them in Forest City at 550 West Main Street, or call them at 828-708-8424 to make an appointment at the new Shelby showroom, located at 1243 East Dixon Boulevard. They can't wait to work with you. And remember, Hablamos Espanol. It's deer season, and the great outdoors in Cherryville is ready. Right now, crossbows start at only $399.99. You heard right. Crossbows started at $399.99 with names like Bowtech, Matthews & Hurt. Get your tree stands by Millennium, Muddy & Summit, plus tree saddles by Tethered & Hawk. The Great Outdoors has binoculars by Vortex and Burris. And see the new lightweight rugged coolers now in stock. That's the Great Outdoors, Highway 150 East in Cherryville, right behind McDonald's. Online at teamgreatoutdoors.com and see their page at whatsupshopper.com. Termites are the #1 leading cause of damage to homes in the United States, and water damage is second. Neelan Co., a local termite and pest control and moisture and water control business located in Bowling Springs, North Carolina, can help protect your home and family from both. Call Neelan Co. today at 704-434-9411 to schedule a free estimate. Neelan Co., proudly serving the Carolinas. Call Neelan Co. for termite and pest control and moisture and water control. Full Throttle Power Sports and Law is proud to announce the addition of Brian Lane to their sales staff. And Brian wants to take this time to invite his friends and former customers of Al Lane Motorsports in Lincoln to come see him at Full Throttle Power Sports and Law, featuring brand names like CF Moto, Yamaha, Honda, Suzuki, Kawasaki, Polaris, and more. See Brian Lane at Full Throttle Power Sports, 101 Indian Walk of I-85 in Law, online at ncfullthrottle.com. All right, 642, 77 degrees at our studios. Let's check in one more time tonight and see what's happening at the Cleveland County Fair. Here's Captain Ron.
Well, that's right. We are at the Cleveland County Fair. People starting to come in, Calvin. It's getting a little more busy. They're coming through the gate. I guess well, it'll be really crowded after the football games tonight. I feel sure they'll have a lot more people in here after that. All right, this is our last report. We want to thank all our sponsors that's made all the reports possible. And we'll just mention a couple of them. Whiskers, Nails, and Puppy Dog Tails on Washburn Switch Road in Shelby. Guns and Lead Therapy on East Dixon Boulevard in Kings Mountain. The Transportation Administration of Cleveland County on Airport Road in Shelby. Kevin Gordon for County Commissioner. And also Danny Blanton, the Cleveland County School Board. Classic Ford Lincoln here in Shelby, East Dixon Boulevard. Leonard Buildings on East Dixon Boulevard as well. And A1 Locksmith on East Dixon Boulevard. Brooke Smith, Edward Jones and Associates, Lincoln, North Carolina, and Triad Corrugated Metal Industrial Park, North Aspen Street in Lincoln. Now, we appreciate all our sponsors who made all the broadcasts possible for the last 10 days or so. And want to remind you, if you're coming over to the fair and eat, be sure to visit some of our food sponsors. They include Papa Joe's Restaurant, Deanna's Concessions, McKinley Candy, Roosters, and also that's the Apple Dumpling Place, Sweet Sensation. So be sure and visit those places. They've helped make our broadcast possible for this week. So anyway, Calvin, I guess that's going to be about it for us. And we'll send it back to you guys, and I'll talk to you later.
All right, thank you, Captain Ron. Let's send it back to the studio and more of the Witherspoon Insurance pregame show.
All right, welcome back.
Go ahead. Good evening. Sorry, Brent. I'll hand it to you just a second. It's time to do some quick predictions, folks, on what we might see tonight across the area. Dennis and Shannon's gonna try to do some of that. I'm gonna get the fields ready. We're about to send it out to the local stadiums. Remember, we got broadcast tonight. Crescent, North Gaston on WHS, Cherryville, Highland Tech on WCSL, West Lincoln at Newton Conover. Listen to that on YouTube. Waggy, LincolnCounty.com. On Waggy, you've got Brevard at Chase, and on YouTube you can watch Jefferson at the Burns Bulldogs. Go ahead, Brent.
All right, let's do some predictions here. We're going to start with St. Stephen's at North Lincoln, and I'll go Shannon, then Dennis.
All right, well, North Lincoln's averaging 30, giving up 23. They're led by running back Shannon Wingate. He's averaging over 100 yards a game. St. Stephen's is having an awful year this year. They haven't won a game yet. I think North Lincoln wins this one 56-6.
Dennis.
You're generous with the 6 points. I'm going 0 and North Lincoln 48.
All right, now Fred T. Ford heads to East Lincoln.
All right, well, Brent, Fred T. Ford are averaging 9 points a game. They're giving up 42. That one there tells you all you need to know. East Lincoln, this is a must-win game for them. Games like this, I think they win easily 63-0.
I'm not going with Fred T. Ford to score. I'm going with 0, but I'm going with East Lincoln to run up their points, and I think it will be 65, Shannon.
Wow, big gap there. So Hunter Huss at Forest View, big conference game.
Huge conference game. Huss, if they're going to do anything, they have to win games like this one starting tonight. Huskies are averaging 25, giving up 28. A loss tonight, I think, by Forest View secures they will start basketball in November. Forest View's only averaging 14 a game. I got Huss winning 35-14.
Pump up them balls, boys, because tonight Hunter Huss is going to prevail. Forest View 14, Hunter Huss 28.
All right, North Iredell to Hickory. Hickory undefeated on the season.
Yep, North Iredell 3-3 on the season as well. They're having a good year, but Hickory's having a better year. Hickory's led by Brady Stober, who's averaging 228 yards per game in the air, and big running back Isaiah Lackey, who's averaging over 100 yards a game. And Hickory's playing at home. They're pretty much unbeatable in games like this. Hickory 42, North Iredale 7.
Well, I'm going to go a little better than that. I'm going to go North Iredale 12, Hickory 56.
All right, pretty similar score to what I had. Ashbrook going to Stuart Kramer, and Stuart Kramer's had a tough time scoring, Shannon.
Yeah, they're only averaging 6 points a game, and this is Ashbrook's in the same situation as Huss. If they're going to do anything in the playoffs, they are going to have to win games like this one, and I think they will tonight because Kramer, I've seen them play against Crest. They're really not that potent as they're just not that good offensively. Ashbrook 35, Kramer 14.
I've got Ashbrook 32, Kramer 3.
All right, big win there for Ashbrook in the predictions. West Iredale goes to Statesville, another Statesville first place in the conference.
Yeah, this game in Iredale County is like a rivalry game, obviously, in Cleveland County, Lincoln County, Gaston County, wherever. The kids know each other. They grew up together. West Iredale comes in, they're averaging 34 on giving up 14. Statesville's averaging 23, giving up 15. And I think this will be a good matchup. Everybody, I think, is picking West Iredale, but I'm going with Statesville at home. We're getting a close one, 28-27.
Well, I'm going to go against you. I'm going with West Iredale tonight. I'm going with them with 24 and Statesville 21.
All right, so opposites there for the first time. All right, Lincolnton goes to West Caldwell to take on the Warriors.
Let me find the sheet. Give me a minute. Okay, so there's not too much to say about this one. Lincoln, they need this game as well to keep their playoff hopes alive. The Wolves are averaging 29. They're giving up 31, but they're playing a West Caldwell team is only averaging 7 points a game. Lincoln should win this one on the road pretty easily, 56-13.
I'm going with the Lincolnton Wolves tonight with the score of 38-7 over West Caldwell.
All right, big game here. Bandies at Maiden. They're calling Simmons has got pretty much a toss-up.
Yeah, they're both have the same overall record at 4-2, but then the stats are about the same as well. Bandies is averaging 40, giving up 24. Maiden is averaging 38, giving up 22. Bandies has a good quarterback in Brady Sweat. He's averaging over 220 yards a game. And Maiden is they're led by the quarterback Josh Stover. Dennis, that's the guy, the parents he's averaging over 200 yards a game. These programs go way back. They know each other. They don't like each other. But I'm gonna give the nod to Bandies in this one on the road. Bandies 35, Maiden 34.
Well, Simmons has them 2 points apart. It's a real close game. But I'm going to go with Maiden because they're at home. I'm going to go with 34 for Maiden, and I'm going to go with 31 for Bandies.
All right, so again, opposite sides of the coin there. So what do I have? I got Patton. Patton's going to RS Central. Patton, I don't know if they've won a game yet.
No, they're 0-6 overall. They're only averaging 5 points a game, giving up 52. Central has a good running back in Carlin McIntyre, and the Hilltoppers are only averaging 19, giving up 43, but they are a better team than Patton. I think they win tonight at the Palace, 49-13.
Well, Patton's not that potent. I've got them scoring 6 points tonight. RS Central is going to field their Wheaties tonight, and they're going to run up the score with 35-4. Excuse me.
All right, Bunker Hill takes that undefeated record to East Burke, takes on the Cavaliers.
Bunker Hill has a really good offense, and last week they had a big win against West Lincoln at home. They have a good quarterback in Reddick Robinson, who's averaging over 160 yards per game, and they have a running back, Jason Willis Jr. He's averaging just shy of 150 a game on the ground. East Burke, they're led by a good running back in Jacob Dellinger, who's averaging just under 200 yards per game on the ground, but they have nobody to help him. I think Bunker Hill wins this one easily, 56-14.
Well, I've got Bunker Hill 42 and East Burke 16.
All right, Hendersonville goes to the resurgent East Rutherford Cavaliers. We talked a lot earlier about this game. What do you guys think?
All right, so Hendersonville comes in this game on a 2-game losing streak. They're averaging 26, giving up 29. They have a quarterback, Jaron Ward, but their running back, Hezi Rudisel, that he's their main bread and butter. East Rutherford comes in on a 2-game winning streak behind quarterback Landon Flynn and running back Brandon Pinkerton. The Cavaliers are averaging 31 points per game. They can score, but they just have a hard time stopping teams. I hope East Rutherford wins this one, but I got the Bearcats for the win. I got Hendersonville 35, East Rutherford 7.
Well, I'm riding with the Cavaliers tonight, 24-21 over Hendersonville.
Big difference there. All right, Mountain Island, the Raptors head to Christ the King. It's the Raptors against the Crusaders.
There you go. Both teams coming in at 1-2 in the conference. Christ the King's averaging 21, giving up 22. Mountain Island's averaging 26, giving up 14. But I like Christ the King at home. I got them 22-21 with the win.
I'm still looking for that game, fellas. I missed it somewhere.
Bottom left.
Bottom left. Okay.
3 up.
3 up. Gotcha. Mountain Island and Christ the King. I'm going with Christ the King and a score of 31-28 over Christ the King. Or Mountain Island, excuse me.
All right, now we go to our highlighted games here, and we'll start at the bottom, work our way up. So we'll start with Bessemer City going to the East Gaston, undefeated East Gaston Warriors.
Yeah, I feel this game will be a little closer than most people think. Bessemer City comes in averaging 34, giving up 17. They got a good quarterback in Gavin Chastain. I think he's just a sophomore. They have a running back, Anthony Smith. He's averaging over 150 yards per game. And Brent, that's the young man leading the conference in rushing. East Gaston comes in with averaging 41, giving up just 9 points per game. They're the only undefeated team left in that conference. Trenton Sherrill, who's been there for, I guess this is his third year as their quarterback. He's averaging 167 yards per game. And they have a running back, Isaac Brown, averaging over 100 yards. I think this game's going to be a little closer. You know, I think East Gaston wins, but Bessemer City will put points on the board. I got an East Gaston 42, Bessemer City 30.
Well, I'm going with the East Gaston Warriors over Bessemer City, 32-14.
All right. Now we got a game on YouTube tonight with Tom Sinafani and Matt Royster, and that's Thomas Jefferson heading over to Lawndale to take on the Burns Bulldogs.
Yeah, the Griffins come in averaging 14, giving up 50 points per game. They struggled this year, and they'll struggle again tonight. Burns comes in averaging 42, giving up 14. They're led by Gardner Webb commit Ben Mooney. He's averaging 189 yards per game, and Jeremiah Norris, the running back's averaging over 100 yards per game on the ground. Burns this year is one of those teams I think they're sneaky. They don't have the big name like a Ryan Thompson they had last year, but they just they're doing things right and keep winning. And I think they're going to be tough for anyone to handle in the playoffs, or just matter of fact, any team playing them. I've got them winning tonight big, 63-7.
Ooh. You looked at my paper. I think the only thing flashing through the Burns Bulldogs' brains right now is Shelby. I hope they don't get ahead of themselves, but I have it 62-6 Burns.
All right. Brevard, a game on WAGY Waggy. They travel to Chase. This is a big game in that conference.
Yeah, both teams overall are 4-2. Brevard comes in averaging 36. They're giving up 19. Chase is averaging 33, giving up 27. I think the loss to East Rutherford and then Hendersonville in back-to-back weeks has the Trojans questioning some things about their team, but that's what the coaches are there for, to get them back together. However, they did lose their starting quarterback, Tournament Swain, with a broken foot. So now Zach Frazier, I think that's his name, he's going to be playing quarterback. He's bigger, he's faster, but he doesn't have the arm strength as McSwain had. But Brevard's tough at home. But I've got Chase going up to the mountain and winning 42. Oh, excuse me, they're playing at Chase. Yep. I've got Chase winning, 42-28 over Brevard.
No, I'm sorry to put a pin in your bubble, but I've got the Chase Trojans, because of that injury to their quarterback, losing tonight to Brevard, 27-34 for Brevard.
All right, that takes us to West Lincoln going over to Newton Conover. And that's our Lincoln game on YouTube tonight, audio only. West Lincoln over at Newton Conover. What do you think, Shannon?
West Lincoln has two good running backs in Jalen Winnick and Caden Smith. They're both averaging over 115 yards per game. They had a tough loss on the road last week at Bunker Hill, and I think they'll get back on the winning streak tonight. But they're playing a good Newton Conover team. They're led by quarterback Adair. He's averaging 215 yards per game. He has 20 touchdowns. I think it's going to be a lot closer than what people think, but I like West Lincoln with their resiliency. I've got them winning this one in a close one, 28-27.
All you West Lincoln fans, don't call me this week. I'm picking West Lincoln, 38, Newton Conover, 24.
Cherryville at Highland Tech, a game on WCSL. Danny Aker, Ken Link will bring you that action, and that game's at Highland Tech tonight.
Yeah, this game is probably not the most exciting game, but it'll be the most interesting game, I think. Both teams are winless on the season. Cherryville's averaging 14, giving up 53, but Highland Tech averaging just 2 points per game. They're giving up 57. It's their homecoming, but Cherryville, I think, will be the better team tonight and win this one big. Coach Pruitt will release the hounds, if you will, 49-7 over Highland Tech.
Oh, you must be looking at my numbers, I've got Cherryville 48-6 over Highland Tech.
All right, and then big matchup on WOHS, Crest traveling over to North Gaston, taking that unblemished record and that high, potent offense, a game that Rob Roop and Jeff Jones will have on WOHS tonight.
Crest quarterback Natavius Husky's averaging 320 yards per game. He has 23 touchdowns. He had speedsters all around him, and running back Aiden Carson. He has a Tate kid from Gaffney. I can't remember his name. The running back, Quentin Tate. Yeah, Quentin Tate from at running back. He comes in like in the second half, and just everybody's tired, but he's not. He can run wild. They have wide receivers Javari Green, Malachi Addison, and A.J. Adams. They're averaging 55 points per game. They're giving up 29, Dennis. Their offense is very dangerous, and they only need one play to strike and score. North Gaston comes in looking their fourth win on the season. They are averaging 20 points a game, giving up 21. But I think Crest is going to be too much for them tonight. Crest 63, North Gaston 14.
Does that scoreboard over there have triple figures on it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, don't worry about it. I'm only going with 64 for Crest, 7 for North Gaston.
All right, you hear the predictions tonight. A couple of different predictions, right? Yeah, I think there was maybe 3 games where you guys picked opposite teams. So we'll have to see how that plays out tonight. Kevin's finally gotten back here. We got a couple of minutes before we head out to the stadiums.
Yep. Well, real quick, want to give everybody, if you need to find the stations and everything, ktcbroadcasting.com. All the links at the top of the page. That's it. That's how you find it, folks. All right, folks, we're going to send it back out to the fields here in just a few moments. Thank you for listening to the Witherspoon Insurance of Shelby pregame show. Send it out to the football stadiums here in just a few moments, folks. Stay tuned on ktcbroadcasting.com. Hold on, JP.
In the trenches, you like the water cooler. You be on the bench. Think your team better, but they lack skill. First snap, I leave your backs in the backfield. Your quarterback scared, I see it in his eyes. Sit the receiver in motion, that's just a disguise. My linebackers, they stepping up. Clog a hole, no letting up. Taking on them big blocks. On fourth down, we get big stops. My secondary is balling out. Your offense keeps stalling out. How many yards? Like none at all. Call the special teams, don't punt the ball, and it's gone. And you never see me fair catch. I get a block and then I'm gone like a Learjet. My helmet on, pass strap tight. My jersey shining in them Friday night lights. Win. We just came to win.
Since 1986, Witherspoon Insurance Agency in Shelby has been serving families across Shelby and Cleveland County. And today, Wayne Witherspoon continues the tradition of bringing you the best insurance at the best possible price. With names like The Hartford, Safeco, Progressive, National General, and Travelers. Drop by the office today at 125 North Lafayette Street in Shelby and talk with one of their friendly hometown agents. Witherspoon Insurance Agency, your independent insurance agency since 1986.
Yes, when it comes to real estate, nobody does it better than Sherry Horn of Sherry Horn Real Estate. Sherry was voted the best real estate agent and best real estate office in Cleveland County. If you're in the market to buy or sell your home, talk with Sherry Horn at Sherry Horn Real Estate. Call 704-915-5450 or visit her website.
Around like all night. End of the game, get your handshakes, huh? My helmet on, pass strap tight. My jersey shining in them Friday night lights. Win. We just came to win. Win. We just came to win. Friday night lights. Ballin' Friday night lights. Ballin' win. We just came to win. Ballin' win. We must protect this house.